Whew, it took me so long to get everything together. I'm so incredibly humbled that you all have submitted so many designs for Astara. We're going to be jumping to the sort of live recorded version of me looking at these designs, but cut down so it isn't hours long, but this is going to be a long video regardless. Again, thank you for all the submissions, and don't forget to check out all the artists' socials in the video, and also linked in the description below. Let's jump right into category 1 and the largest category with 46 designs, the new original Astara Pokemon. So our first one is by a person named Yeetus, and they have the Pokemon Boxentin and Boxenslash, both water steel type. So they're both based on box jellyfish. I like that they kind of look like robots too. So Boxentin are highly sophisticated and have the ability to mimic human voices. And Boxenslash has an IQ of lower than a 10th of its pre-evolution, has a large distaste for Tentacruel. You know what, man? Same. I like these. I can see them in the game as kind of doing the Pingu Newt Newt when you see them as well. By Gage the Artist, we've got Caprilla and Drillicara, both ground steel. They're based on drills, capybaras, and Racalus. So Caprilla, the spike in its tail can spin at a great speed. If afraid, it will either drill a hole away or try and use its tail to attack. And this fluffy guy shouldn't be messed with. Not only is it a tough fellow, but its sharp claws and tail make it a small nuisance in the region. I like these guys. I feel like I could bounce them like a basketball or roll them a lot. And then we've got Casawancient by Pokerex Artist. This one reminds me a bit of Terrawary. I feel like this one could probably roll up in a ball a bit like Donphin and just bowl into people. It's fun, I like the design. It looks very nippy with its front mouth too. I don't want to go near this thing. So Casawancient is a dragon type, and its dex entry is it is said that this Pokemon was a fossil Pokemon that avoided extinction and adapted to the modern day. Cool. Right, next is a Pokemon by Mimai. We've got Coppoint and Serpentin. So Coppoint is based on the Cophead Eastern Snake and poison-tipped arrows. This Pokemon is known to hang around near swamps and terrorize smaller Pokemon. Serpentin is based on the same thing along with Australian common productivity of tin and copper and some aspects of the Australian spear. This Pokemon uses its fierce bite to cause metals and other Pokemon to either poison or seriously corrode metals. It uses this tactic to mark its territory. I really like these two. They have a very Pokemon style to them. I love Coppoint's face. He looks so sassy. He knows that he's gonna just melt some kind of steel type. So we've got art by Crimson here. We've got Komodo, Bunentai, and Prissolence. So these guys had a very long Pokédex entry, but I like this one. I like the Komodo dragon and its kind of aboriginal aesthetic to this one. It feels very kaiju as well in its final form as the Blight Dragon Pokemon. Our next one is by Boba Lobster. This is Cucumber, I think this is supposed to be Vinegar, but it was sent as Vinegar, and Vegintellect. So they are all grass psychic, and they're based on the process of creating pickles from cucumbers, as well as enlightenment, pruning, sensory deprivation chambers, and wrinkles on brains being correlated to intelligence. The process of pickling is likened to pruning in a bathtub, which is likened to heightened intelligence due to the wrinkles that result being similar to the ones on brains. I really like the concept of this one, and I really like Cucumber. He lives up to his name. It has a very Reuniclus kind of vibe to it, being this sort of creature inside of the jelly. It's very cool. And that last, what Vegintellect is doing there is such a big mood. And also, he looks like he's floating pickles. Okay, next we've got Doofy Panda. So, Doofy Panda has two Pokemon in Jestar and Jestinassar. So, Jestar is a flying type, and their Pokédex entry is a sign of joy in the Astara region. Jestar flock about in groups, making silly gags with children. a delighted gift Pokemon for a birthday. And they even gave the evolution method, which would be fainting during nighttime. And so Justinisar is a flying ghost type. And what was once filled with joy is now haunting to children and will appear trying to play. However, most children instead run away from it. The basis is a Galar Cockatoo, which is known for being very friendly and noisy, mixed with a jester because the Galars are quite social creatures and smart. So yeah, this one's great. I really like how these ones look. I especially like the first form. The little mix of the Galar's kind of head plumage with the jester's hat is really fun. The second evolution is just creepy, but I like it. Alright, next up we've got Wallaby and Wallopy. These two are really well done. If anything, these may just win or are in the running for the kind of nicest art. So we've got quite a long explanation for these ones. But I like this start one. As someone who's also from a country known for alcohol consumption, I hope you take no offense to the concept being loosely based on the idea of a stereotypical Australian drunk. I am offended. How dare you? No, it's fine. Okay, so first one is actually a Wallaby plus Lullaby plus Baby. They just got the floaty, disoriented feeling that inebriation and weariness causes, which is cool. And then it evolves into the full-on drunken brawler Wallopy. These are great. I think these are really well done. And I love the eyes on Wallopy. There's kind of almost Lycanroc-esque eyes. And these are done by Vitality, or Vitality. Next we have a person called Maya, who sent in an entry for Fervor and Tax Turn. So these guys are based on sort of the cabbies, traditions and turns. I love that these guys, they just scream kind of taxis just in any place where there are taxis. And I like that the evolution's tail is literally just like a swirl of money. This one would be a great like Pokemon that could kind of accompany actual like in-game taxis as well. Super fun, super cool. I like this. All right, next is a spidery line by Machimun. Notice the severe lack of spiders in your Aussie region. I'm sorry, I made enough spiders. Let's say I made enough spiders. But no, I think these are great. So this is Grummel and its gender split evolutions Adacompy and Grampider. So Grummel, the spider egg Pokemon, is bug ground, usually found in clusters within the knitted webs of their mothers. Grummel are rarely seen in the wild. Trainers often have a hard time raising them, as they are ill-tempered and tend to bite. Adacompy is the funnel web Pokemon, a poison and bug type. These Pokemon are always grumpy, always lashing out at anyone and anything that so much as looks at them wrong. Their venom is one of the deadliest in the known world, although their trainers would rather be bitten than yelled at since they tend to go on long-winded rants. And finally Grampider, the funnel web Pokemon as well, a bug and ground type. Unlike their ill-tempered young and male counterparts, Grampider tend to remain in their burrows. While they are homebodies, they will not hesitate to attack when provoked. Trainers report that usually they are like doting grandmothers. So yeah, these are really great. I love the shape design on these ones, especially the first form. And the male one just looks like the grumpiest grandfather telling you to get off his lawn. Definitely a very funnel web thing to do. These are such fun designs. I don't want to touch them though. They look horrifying to me. Okay, next we've got Ultimate Ditto 4380. We've got the Impglyph and their evolution, which is called Pernpicto. So Impglyph is Ghost and Pernpicto is Ghost Dark. So they're kind of based off cave paintings. The idea is that the first stage spirit uses the art as a way to manifest into the living world due to the pure link people of the past had with the world around them. The second stage is now more comfortable and adjusted to being a proper ghost. Okay, and their dex entries are a restless Pokemon spirit that is manifested into the living world through ancient Astar and cave paintings that resembled its original form. It loves to prank bystanders and will attempt to get other ghost Pokemon to join in its games. These Pokemon fiercely protect the cave they originate from, tending to stay in close proximity if they ever do venture out. They allow younger wandering souls into their home and protect them with a similar ferocity, thus leading to them being misunderstood when they encounter humans that wish to drive them away. These are really cool. I like kind of how Imp-Glyph it's almost like a fox kind of creature, which is really cool. And Pern-Picto just looks menacing. I really like how you can kind of tell that it's almost like Imp-Glyph is hiding inside of the body of Pern-Picto with this. Okay, next we've got a free stage line by Jason Fleming, and these guys are really cool. The middle stage Dozatoad absolutely slaps. I love that the most, but all of these are really cool. Sleephole, Dozatoad, and Slumbertoad. They're all water psychic types. So Sleephole, the tadpole Pokemon, always in a sleep-like state of being. Sleephole are usually found in ponds, lakes, and rivers in the Ostara region, sleeping with their eyes closed without a care in the world. Sleephole is able to levitate in the air with their psychic powers, glow in the dark in the middle of the night thanks to their bioluminescent cheek marks on their faces, and are able to sense the blissful, happy dreams of children and Pokemon throughout the region. People who catch Sleephole will take care of them like they're adorable babies and use their cheeks as nightlights. Very cute. Dozatoad, the sleep-deprived Pokemon. Dozatoad always looks like it's half asleep, tired, blissfully unaware of its surroundings, and about to fall over at any moment, leading most people to think Dozatoad isn't suited for battle. Don't let its behavior fool you, for its silk, lanky body is good for easily dodging oncoming attacks from any Pokemon that provokes it in battle. When Dozatoad isn't battling, it likes to sleep on huge lily pads in different ponds across Ostara. Whenever Dozatoad's cheek marks glow, it's a sign that it's satisfied with the lily pad it wants to sleep on and absorbs the dreams of human and Pokemon in its sleep. And Slumbertoad, the dream frog Pokemon. Known as the slumbering sage of the pond, Slumbertoad always sets on lily pads, rocks, or huge mushrooms to act as its throne. Slumbertoad will sometimes drink massive gulps of water throughout the pond it stays on just to quench its thirst. This Pokemon has the power to see into the minds of humans and Pokemon to find out what dreams they have, and uses its powers to make their dreams literally come to life if that dream is 100% positive. Slumbertoad acts as a teacher or parental figure to many Sleephole, and nurtures them until they're ready to sense everyone's dreams and make them come true. I really like that these guys are based on Tiddalik, the kind of Australian Aboriginal frog Dreamtime story. Very cool. And it almost has like a slack off, vigor off slacking vibe to it, with the mid stage being kind of different to everyone else. Super awesome. Green Ninja 210, and they have two Pokemon, a two-stage line that's based on kind of the dogs playing dead, Koinusu and Utsuinu. Ghost ground types. I like these. I like how they almost take over the body of the Cubone sort of thing, and I love how it's this little fella in the first form almost trying to make a dog out of it. It's super cute. And second form's fun too. Yeah, I really like how they're not full ghosts of dogs. They're kind of almost blob-like creatures that grab onto the bones and pretend. Next we've got Iron with Litterbit. So Litterbit is sort of a wishy-washy kind of fire Pokemon that's based on the Ifrit or a Jin. So this is the baby form. It's very cute. It reminds me of like a Ghibli kind of Pokemon. And then its Firestorm form is really scary. It's just this raging inferno of, I guess maybe anger, maybe hatred. You can see that the Litterbits are all just flowing around inside of it. Okay, next we've got, and I apologize if I say this wrong, Otis Abeta with Lomole and Vertimole. So, Lomole is a ground type based on the southern marsupial mole and the word loam, type of sand and clay soil, which evolves into Vertimole, a ground and grass type based on the southern marsupial mole with a bush of Spinifex grass-like hair. These are very cute. I feel like they could make a first and second stage to my own kind of marsupial mole Pokemon. These are super fun designs. I really like them. Next we got Napeko by Gender Chimera. This guy is super cool. So this is a fire poison type based on the golden-tailed gecko, which shoots a chemical from pores in its tail to deter predators, but contact with ammonia turns this goo into a highly flammable substance. So this is Napeko, the sticky flame Pokemon. They shoot a sticky substance from their tail that's hard to wash off and is highly unstable, bursting into flames at the slightest friction. They can use this to set traps for wandering Pokemon, napping all day in the sun and waiting for the boom to announce when dinner is ready. So this is super cool. I love this design. The goopy tip tail is a little unsettling though. Alright, next we've got Play Black. So this is Play Black, a still flying government surveillance drone disguised as a bird. If anything, this is just a hilarious design. It's almost like Corviknight if Corviknight was a Paradox Pokemon. Okay, next we've got a Convergent by Pokemax. This is called Magnemite, the one-toe Pokemon, which is obviously a Magnemite Convergent. It's a normal and fighting type. Although it looks like Magnemite, it is a marsupial Pokemon. This Pokemon has recently been discovered, and when it was, it injured the biologist who found it by kicking it. They are ancient and were apparently rivals with Rampardos. Look at this little guy. It's just a little lad. I can totally see this in-game doing like the Toedscool super fast run, kind of blitzing across the Astaran fields. Alright, next we've got a two-stage line by Salvarus. This is a Source Grub and Sislantula, and these two are just, they're precious in every way. So they're obviously based on the good old traditional Australian snags. The dex entries are Source Grub, who's a bug type. Source Grub love the heat and enjoy sunbathing or to curl up anywhere warm and toasty. Unfortunately, when they do, Source Grub releases an intoxicating aroma which is irresistible to predators. And Sislantula, a bug fire type. Sislantula have specialized glands in their abdomens that they use to keep other Source Grubs safe and warm. If threatened, Sislantula can release a powerful blast of heat and flames from their abdomen. These two are just amazing. I love Source Grub, just, oh, what a cutie. And Sislantula, while horrifying, I love the barbecue abdomen. It's just, oh, wonderful. So we got Scorpiox and Gloater by Adrian Walker. First stage is based off how scorpions glow under blacklight and is physically based off a scorpion and a light bulb. The second stage is physically based off a spider and a light bulb. So they're both steel poison type. I love how just kind of worried Scorpiox looks. They're both very cute, even for being, you know, scorpions and spiders, which I'm not a big fan of. Well done, these are very cute. Alright, and next we got Saurnitis, a two-headed bird Pokemon, a flying and normal type. This Pokemon uses two heads to look for potential prey and look for any predators that may try to attack it. Even though this Pokemon has two heads, it can still handle on its own in a battle. This Pokemon is never truly alone since it always has a companion at its side, although that may be at the other side of the neck. This one just reminds me so much of like a Gen 1 kind of Pokemon design, maybe because like Doduo and stuff. I can see this in the original sort of watercolor style that they do. So this is Sparklet, Battlerunt, and Energon by Nolric. Each of these are super cool, but I really like Energon. It reminds me a lot of something like Ziggs from League of Legends. I really want to just peg it and watch it explode. This thing just completely beats out Voltorb and Electrode. Okay, next we've got Solkiwi and Rafale by Beluga Cougar. They're based on Australovenator and Kiwi birds, and the evolution is also based on the Australovenator and cassowaries. You know how much I love my kind of eyeless, spiky-jawed Pokemon. I made one myself. These are really cool and kind of scary at the same time. These are just really well done in general. I think these are super cool. Okay, next we've got Telequid and Elokraken by Super Shoutmon. This is based on Vampire Squid and a TV, and they're a water electric type. So I love the kind of designs behind these because they almost feel like some kind of game mascot design, and the colors on these are really fun. Something about them really get me. I especially like Elokraken. Very fun designs. Almost looks like Klonoa, maybe that's why it's getting me. But yeah, these are awesome. Next we got by Madroth Rules, Talmelon, Talturtle, and Comatile. So these two Pokemon combined together to make the final evolution. I really like how Comatile looks. He looked like he'd be a really cool like defensive mon. And Talturtle's just a big mood in general. That's how I feel every day. Okay, so next we've got two Pokemon by Tymonster. We've got Monaxio and Prophog. These are both inspired by the urban legend that groundhogs are able to predict the weather. Monaxio, a normal psychic type. Monaxio uses its psychic abilities to better understand the weather. Monaxio is often used as a pet for Weatherman. I can see that definitely. And I love his little stick. That's one happy little stick wielder. And Prop Hog. Professional meteorologists are always paired with Prop Hogs. Their ability to predict the weather is unrivaled and they are incredibly wise. They're able to prepare a shelter for any natural disaster. I like that he evolves into kind of a wizard instead, able to prophesize things. Super cool. And the actual art on these are great too. Well done. Okay, next we've got by Unwilling Pest, Rabpest, and Bilbiasma. So these are kind of based off the whole Bilbies instead of Easter rabbits, and that rabbits are considered pests, and when Rabpest evolves, it becomes a vengeful Bilbiasma. I love how menacing these two look. Even the first form, Rabpest, kind of has an almost unsettling and scary vibe to it. It kind of looks like it's one of those test animals too, which is cool. And Bilbiasma is just horrifying in the best way possible, and I love that head kind of ghostly, I guess, miasma coming off of its head. And next we've got a single stage Pokemon by Cesp13 in Wallugby, a normal and fighting type. It's based on the Wallabies Australian rugby team logo. It is super competitive, and if it doesn't like you, it will throw his ball at you so strong and fast that it can kill. So one stage Pokemon. Oh my god. I love how this has the almost Australian football team logo to it. It's super cool. It's so fun. Alright, and finally for category 1, by Hiro Uzawa, it's a legendary Pokemon called Yurjamar, a psychic water legendary Pokemon based on the Australian deity, the Rainbow Serpent. This one is just awesome. I love all the kind of swirling colors and the galaxy print behind it. So this is the Rainbow Dream Pokemon, a psychic and water type. This legendary Pokemon is said to reside within the realms of dreams. Just gazing upon this Pokemon will put anyone into a deep slumber. Legend says that this Pokemon controls the water of the Astara region and will bring about rain in times of drought. Yeah, this one's super cool, and I love the sort of eyes that it has. I have a Rainbow Serpent Pokemon already kind of prepared and ready to go, but this is super cool, and if it does win, I'll figure something out. There were so many good designs here, I could have picked 5 from just here and called it a competition. But I want to first give a runner-up honourable mention to Napeko and Ella Kraken and the Grummel line, as you were all very close to winning, and I also want to give an art style award to Doofy Panda for Jester and Jestinsa too. But the winner of category 1 is Wallaby and Wallopy by Vitality. These designs just really speak to me, and they're just super cool in general. Alright, on to category 2, A Star in Evolution. So first we've got a Clonemihi evolution from Tymonster in a Nemesis, which is really cool that there's both a male and female form. The female form kind of keeps the comedy aspect of it, and it's kind of a stand-up comedian, which is cool. I really like this one because it kind of keeps that same theme going but plays off it a little bit more. And then the male form just becomes an absolute horrifying monster. And it's really cool that you played off the fact that the male form has the one on the head, so it's grown into this almost just, oh, so horrifying but so great. This has just become the more horrifying version and plays up the horror elements of clowns in pop culture. This is, yeah, super cool. I love the kind of pushing of the themes of the two male and female forms further. Okay, next we've got Baxicant, the Wreckage Pokemon, by Beluga Cougar. It's based on submarines and basking sharks. It's just giving that big old pog energy. This is super cool. I like how it's got that almost same kind of Synoxide energy, but you've made it into the basking shark shape. I can see this one just devouring everything. Again, a horrifying one, but a super cool evolution. Well done. Okay, next is Cthullocked by Pokemax, and this one's really funny. It's an evolution of Warlocked, but it kind of takes over a Slowbro for it, which is funny and horrifying at the same time. They said the Slowbro is kind of gone in this version, which is scary, but still very cool. I really like how the sort of patterns and eyes and stuff from Warlocked have kind of grown and enhanced on this thing too. Honestly, this is really cool. So we've got one by Vitality, and this is an evolution to Yui called Towie, and this is fun. I love that it's so tall now. There's something about that top part of their head that really speaks to me. So Towie, the Yaoi Pokemon. Towie are often mistaken for trees during blizzards due to their impressive stature. People were once intimidated by their size, and so Crabominable developed paw-like pincers to mimic the footprints of Towie. Despite being feared, they are quite friendly, assisting those who are disoriented within snowstorms. Their fur provides great insulation from the cold, so they use it to keep the lost warm. Towie are not the smartest of Pokemon, so are not truly aware of any damage it can cause when moving about. It accidentally knocks over trees, not paying attention to its surroundings. I really like the kind of play up of it being connected to Crabominable, seeing as Crabominable is the Abominable Snowman Pokemon, and it has that similar kind of paw print design on the bottom of its foot. This one's just great. Next we've got Garumble by Nolric, a grounded fighting type. I love this one. I really like this as a kind of an evolution of Sun Yao. I like how the hands and the arms kind of turn into these rocky ground punching gloves, and I don't know, that face just is kind of like it is not caring about you. It thinks it can defeat you super easily. Next we've got another evolution for Warlock called Octobrains, a psychic and poison type by King Concept. I like that this just kind of increases the kind of Cthulhu aspect a little further on this, and those arms, they know I like those long armed kind of designs. This one's super fun, super cool. I could totally see this being an evolution to Warlocked. Okay, then we got Frofong. This is by Maya. Evolution to a Flip Shock, which I didn't expect to get anything. So this is based on the Fong, throwing contest with a hint of chanclas, ogre spiders, and Hispanic mums, which, yeah, the design of this is just awesome. I really like kind of the ogre spider aesthetic that's added into this. And the fact that it's holding a little Flip Shock in its arms, ready to just yeet it at someone. It's just perfect. Alright, next we've got one by Cesp13 in Tyroar, another evolution to Sun Yao. It is a rock fighting type called Tyroar. It's a Sun Yao evolution, and I put it in a more violent position to reflect its fighting type. It not only hunts Sandaconda more efficiently, it also has the power to take down naturally found G-Max Sandaconda. It stopped hunting Squid Comets since they were so small, they couldn't feed Tyroar well. Yeah, this one looks just horrifying, ready to just tear apart a G-Max Sandaconda, jumping at them. Yeah, super cool. Alright, next we've got Volcanode by Gage the Artist, a fire and poison type. This Pokemon evolves when giving a Polcano a King's Rock. The smoke around its neck is dangerous to breathe in. If threatened, it will send Fragagan to beat their opponents for them. I really like this because it's literally a split evolution for Polcano. It's cute, it's really cute. And I kind of like that it connects to Fragagan too. Alright, and our final one is Yushaking by Scarlet Illustrations. It is a guide Pokemon and an evolution to Yui. It evolves from Yui at level 44 after helping 3 Pokemon with Yui as your buddy. That's cool. Its dex entry is, though looking rather imposing, Yushaking is rather kind and a gentle giant. This Pokemon guides humans and other Pokemon that are lost in Yushaking's domain. With the help of its magic light, this Pokemon can remember all paths it has followed and determine which is a safer route to go down. Do not mess with this beast because it's just trying to help. It will leave you right where it found you if you disgrace it. This is super fun, this design, because I really like that it goes beyond just Yui itself. And I really like the whole guide aspect is playing out that Yui kind of had going for it already. There was such quality for these ones, and because they're all my babies, I had a hard time picking and choosing. The runners-up for this one were Nolric with their Sun Yao Evo Garumble, which was so incredibly close to winning. And the art style award I want to give to Vitality for their Toei art. It was just super amazing. But the winner this time around is Maya with their evolution to Flip Shock in Frofong. Its design is really cool and a well-needed addition to our Wimpy Fong Pokemon. Next category 3 are Pre-Evo. First up, we've got Bogag by Scarlet Illustrations. This one is just a treasure. Bogyip really needs something, and I like that it's going to evolve from this cutie. So Bogag, the stink Pokemon. Bogag has such a terrible stench that when someone passes by it, they have a very high chance of passing out. These Pokemon love to hide inside of Bogyip's fur, so they can use their stench to knock out foes while Bogyip finishes them off. If you see a bush-looking blob in the water, wear a gas mask and just run out of there, so you aren't knocked out by Bogag and dragged into the swamp by Bogyip. I really like that Scarlet Illustrations kind of played up that this thing just hides inside of Bogyip and just lets out just stink everywhere. This is super cute. We've got another Bogyip evolution by Nolric called Buncalf. This is just another cutie, and I like that this one plays up sort of more of a seal kind of design to it, where Bogyip's sort of a walrus. I think this is really interesting. I guess it's really a baby walrus, but it does look almost like a seal as well. It's very cute, and I just want to roll it around like Spheal. Okay, next we've got Espressup by Gage the Artist, a pre-evolution to Koffei. So this is a fairy poison type. No one knows what this Pokemon and its evolution looks like. If you have a coffee and you see this mon, it's already too late as they already stole your coffee. This is really cute, and I like that it's just kind of like a blob at the bottom, so it almost would probably move around a bit slug-like, and it's even got the little buck teeth. It's so baby. It's very much like a baby Chino kind of deal. Super, super duper cute. Thanks, Gage the Artist. Alright, next we've got another by Vitality, and it's a pre-evolution to Valkyrie called Princety. This Pokemon's actually based a little bit off Galaz as well, which is super cool. So Princety, the striker pose Pokemon. They're rarely seen without their parents, hiding in the comfortable plumage of Valkyrie until they mature enough to venture out on their own. Within their communities, Princety like to display new dance moves and poses in an attempt to impress their evolutions, and they hold mini competitions in order to determine who is the most elegant. The chosen Princety is said to be worthy of evolution. Princety like to spend unnecessary time printing their head plumage, taking great pride in their appearance. In the midst of a fight, they will take each opportunity they get readjusting their hair. Yeah, this one is, again, super cute. I really like that it's got that Galar aesthetic behind it as well. Yeah, I think this one just really works great as a pre-evolution of Valkyrie. Alright, next we've got a pre-evolution to Camus called Floricarf. So this is the Moose Calf Pokemon. Floricarf are usually seen next to their Camus parents, following them around wherever they go. Because they are so young, Floricarf's body is more healthy and lively, and is able to run as fast as a toddler. Whenever small bug Pokemon fly above Floricarf, the little fly trap on its head will activate and instantly chomp on them whole. Floricarf loves being in the sunlight more than in the jungle and blooms little flowers on their backs. Floricarf will always be protected by their Camus parents from predators, but can sometimes defend themselves if they have an advantage against predator Pokemon, and evolves into Camus at level 35. This design's really cute, and I love the little sort of eyes on the closed Venus flytrap on its head. I can totally see this one being a really good Pokemon to fit in the Astara region. Okay, next we've got Mewtwo Cheerios, which is a pre-evolution to Yeagras, which is Yeagross. What I love about this one is that it kind of reminds me of Neopets. It's so cute. I can see this being a great pre-evolution to Yeagras. It's got the sharp little tail butt bits too. Super huggable, although it might be a bit sharp. Alright, next we've got one by Sespe, a pre-evolution to Sunyao called Kidiao. It's ground type. It's just a little lad. It's so cute. So its dex entry is when it jumps to you, it will not leave unless you treat it badly, as it gets very fond of the people near it. It's very cute. And it's funny that it would evolve into Tyroar in Sespe's world, because Tyroar is just a completely different kind of monster compared to this cutie. Alright, next we've got a pre-evolution to Corinolin called Mitsupa. This one's by Tymonster. I don't appreciate the calling Corinolin stats weird, rude. No, but this is super cute. Even newborn Mitsupups have extremely strong bite forces. They've been known to break the shells of Clamperls in a single bite. Yeah, this is super cute. Definitely connects to Corinolin really well. And its smile is just adorable. Okay, next we've got one by Maya. And this is another pre-evolution to Bogyip called Puppeat. This one is adorable. And I love that the only explanation I was given for it is just a little man, because I think that's all we really need for it. Yeah, this one is super duper cute. It's got everything that kind of, that same almost walrus calf kind of situation going. I love it. It's great. It's super cute. Next, we've got a pre-evolution for Secrella called Spine Imp. And my shock when I saw this at first, as much as I love it, it is also deeply unsettling in the best way possible. And this one is kind of based on sort of isopods too, which is cool. A great kind of through line to Secrella as well. I love this one, it's super cool. Next, we've got an unnamed Pokemon by Otis DeBetta. This is based off the kind of punching bag Pokemon that I created for all the moves. It's a pre-evolution for it. And this one just is great because it almost has a face that I really want to punch anyway. I haven't given it a name yet because just in case, but yeah, this one's really fun and just punchable in the best way. All right, next we've got a pre-evolution for Yui called Welper by Mimai. This is from Puppa, Whelp, and Yelp. Welper are known for being one of the best Pokemon that camouflage in a star, being known as the fake Snowball. In the mountains, it is fairly playful with anyone it sees, but will make sure to call its parents to lead them down the mountains if they see how cold or chilly their friend is. They're very naive. I think, yeah, this is adorable. Being called the fake Snowball does make me want to throw it as well, but it would be hard because this thing's so cute. Next, we've got one by Pokemax. And this is a pre-evolution to Woobygoober called Wobile. So this one's dex entry is, Wobiles are extremely clumsy, but good smellers. After a recent scientific study, we found that Wobile is the closest living relative to Wiglet. Although looking more draconic, its evolution finally gains the dragon typing. I love this one. It just plays up the whole fact that Woobygoober is just the silliest lad, and this is just as silly. And the connection to Wiglet makes this really fun as well. Again, these are my babies about to become babyier, so it was a tough time picking. Runners up this time were Express Pup, Puppeat, Floracalf, and Prince-Dye for some really creative and fun designs. And for the art style award this time goes to Beluga Cougar for the Spine Imp, the funny little lad. But the winner of the category is Scarlet Illustrations with Bogag, the stinky, nasty little creature, and their wonderful design. On to category 4, Star Informs. So this is sort of a convergent of Star Inform of Litleo and its new evolution in Scizor by Crimson. So these are kind of almost like a Sudowoodo where they're just pretending to be a cat. They're a grass and ghost type. They got wooden teeth, and I think these are really fun designs, and I love that Bitleo has these almost little black claws on them, and the wooden teeth is a fun little design. Next by Cespedes, we actually have an evolution for Gliscor called Garvampion. It has two forms. One is a ground form and one is a flying form. So it has two forms, ground and flying. They both share the dark type. They can have ground and flying type depending on the form. It can change form at will to catch prey. It likes hunting Noivern and Sistri. So it is a real good hunter if it's hunting them Sistri as well. The design on this is actually pretty rad. I especially like the flying form and the fact that it kind of folds up its wings to walk almost like a spider. That's just scary. But yeah, these are super cool, these two. Okay, next we have an Astaran Diglett and an evolution for it called Monslet by Gent Arts. These are great designs. I love the marsupial mole kind of design that we have going here. And honestly, Monslet is such a sick design. The fact that it comes out of the ground and it almost looks similar to Diglett itself. It looks like it's just bursting out of the ground. It doesn't even evolve. It's just ready to take you down. This is a really, really fun design. All right, next we have an Astaran form of Lopunny by Pat. And this one is just beautiful and glorious. Super great. This is based on jacaranda trees and European rabbits, which is super interesting. It is a normal and grass type. Veneries were not native to the Astara region, but got introduced to be hunted for sport. Things got out of control and they became a plague. Local Banniers evolve into this regional variant, mimicking another introduced species, the jacaranda tree. Yeah, this is just super cool. Yeah. The purples on it are just stunning. It almost looks like it's wearing like pajama clothing as well. But yeah, this is super cute and super fun design. Next we have an evolution for a Kricketune by Daring and Wyverna called Krickestora. And this one's really interesting because it actually is based on Vespa, my bug type gym leader, which is just awesome. It's evolved from Kricketune after leveling up knowing the move Bug Buzz. I really like this one. It has this sort of musician vibe to it, the same as Kricketune, but it plays it up more towards like Vespa's sort of idea of music. This is awesome. Alright, next we've got Astaran Bayonet, which is actually based on Aboriginal dolls, which is super cool. It is a ghost fairy or normal type. This one has just a really rad design. It's super cute. And you can tell that it is a lot less aggressive than normal Bayonet, a lot less scary too. This one is, yeah, just amazing. And the colors on it are really nice too. Next, we've got Astaran, Geodude, Graveler, and Golem. So they're based on rock climbing and spiders, and it's done by Boba Lobster. Their tablet broke, so they can't do digital art of them, but that's okay. I really like that it turns into this almost rock wall golem with a whole bunch of different arms. I almost find it scary in a way, but it's really fun as well. Yeah, this one is super fun, and it's a really cool idea as well. Okay, this next one by Beluga Cougar is Astaran Kecleon. And so this one is a normal and poison type and based on the blue tongue skink in the Sydney Opera House. And I really like that it almost looks like it's kind of playing a tuba or even maybe a didgeridoo. It's very fun and it kind of plays up that sort of Australian culture as well. Alright, next we've got two Pokemon. We've got Astaran Stonjourner by Scarlet Illustrations and its evolution Tempeace. Alright, so Stonjourner Astaran form, the big rock Pokemon, a grass and rock type. This Stonjourner has had its rock body decomposed by plants. Those plants then taking over the Pokemon's body. These Pokemon are very caring and will not let smaller Pokemon get hurt. And then its evolution Tempeace, a temple Pokemon, the grass and rock type. After evolving, this Pokemon becomes a powerful asset in battle. It can protect itself and other Pokemon from harsh weather conditions. This is a super fun design, especially seeing as it's got almost like a sort of traditional vibe to it, especially in Tempeace. And I love how they've kept Astaran Stonjourner's face. He's still got that smug grin after being kind of eroded away by plants and stuff like that. Okay, next we've got a Astaran form of Vanilluxe from Nulrik. So it's based on Strawberry Sundae. It's a fairy and ice type. I like that it's kind of... I feel like it's not floating anymore and it kind of just sits on the ground. And I've always liked the idea of having more types of Vanilluxes. So this is a really cool design. I do kind of want to eat it though. Alright, next we've got Astaran Whimsicott by Jason Fleming, a grass and ground type. A very mischievous looking one. Unlike its cheery Unova counterpart, the Astaran Whimsicott have a more snarky attitude and love to think they're entitled compared to other Pokemon. Instead of letting the wind make them fly, Astaran Whimsicott love to dig into the dry desert soil and stay planted onto the hole while letting the wind blow their cotton hair to feel the breeze without flying around. Astaran Whimsicott fights for territory over petty reasons, such as one of them stealing their space in the soil. Their cotton hair, while fluffy, is spiked with thorns that can easily hurt someone if they're not careful, and can be quite aggressive if any other Pokemon messes up their spiked cotton hair. I really like this one just because it's like an evil version of Whimsicott. It doesn't care about you. It's a complete 180 of the normal Whimsicott. It's very cute. Okay, next we've got by Gage the Artist, Astaran Wooper and Quagsire. So these guys are kind of based off Wi-Fi routers and towers and are a water psychic type. So for Wooper, it's unknown how this form of Wooper came to be as it isn't native to the region. However, some believe that it has something to do with the ultra wormholes appearing around Asara. Now and then, the people in the region use this Pokemon to send messages to one another. And Quagsire, this Pokemon's tail helps it better use its psychic powers. Somehow, with this power, they are able to predict where an ultra wormhole will open. Some Quagsire have been observed jumping into these wormholes, however no one knows why. I love the face on Wooper, it's so cute, and I can totally see the router inspiration from it, and just the fact that Quagsire looks like that, and is able to predict ultra wormholes, these are so great. What a good design for these two. Next we've got a Astaran Lapras by Me Too Cheerios. This one is super pretty. I really, really like how this looks. So it's a water rock type and it's the Great Reef Pokemon. Due to the warmer climate in Astara, Lapras was thought to be extinct in the region. However, recently as scientists researched more into the reefs near Astara, they discovered that Lapras has not gone extinct, but instead adapted, spending most of its time laying still to avoid predators. I love the art on this one. It's just super nice, and I like how it's kind of kept the Lapras shape but elongated it a little bit and added those really beautiful Corsola-esque sort of coral to it. This is a great design and really well done. Alright, by Deer in a Suit, we've got a Star and Squawk ability. Look at this bogan. I had like 20 friends who look like this. Alright, so a Star and Squawk ability based on kookaburras and bush music. After traveling to the region of Astara, Squawkabilly found new musical inspirations than those it would find in Paldea. This caused a drastic change in its physical form and typing, as it now sports the Dark Flying type, combination as opposed to its normal flying Paldean relative. They of course also come in the 4 color variations as their cousins. Yeah, this design makes me laugh. You can see the Kookaburra inspiration, it's just great in every way, and it makes me mad that people actually look like this. Next we've got 2 Stager. We've got a Poison Ghost, Staryu and Starmie by Salvarus. These are based off Sea Star wasting disease, which is an illness that causes sea stars to deteriorate, causing them to become almost like zombies. So this could be either ghost poison or just pure ghost type. But yeah, I really like that you kind of start off with this Starmie just being a sort of almost, it almost looks the same, but you can tell that there's a few things wrong with it. And then when it evolves, instead of being crystalline, it's this kind of waving, writhing sort of tentacled beast. Very scary, but very cool. Y'all went hard with these one, it's wild. For runners up, we have Squawkabilly, a Star and Diglett and Monslet, a Star and Bayonet and Krickistora. The Art Style Award goes to Mita Cheerios with their beautiful Lapras design. But the winner of Category 4 is Pat with their amazing Jacaranda Lopunny design. Well done. And last but not least, Category 5, the Beast Paradox forms. So our first one is a really cool one by Hunter Rowe. Beast Paradox Berserker, a Ghost and Dragon type. And I like that not only does it start out as this kind of like cool looking ghost dragon kind of looking thing, but then it also just walks along kind of this, what I can only say is like a graveyard of Berserker sheets as this just menacing looking long creature. It's so cool. And you know, the fact that this is like a Hills Hoist kind of clothesline mod is super cool as well, playing up the sheet ghost aesthetic. Alright, we've got a Beast Paradox Ditto by Salvarus. This one is just a joy to look at. Look at that face. Yeah, I love this one. It's super fun. So this one's still a normal type. As we travelled, we came across what appears to be moving ruins in the distance, only for us to discover that it was what we now know to be Ditto. It appears Dittos here have gained the ability to not only copy multiple life forms, but entire towns and geological features. Although they are extremely docile, caution around these Pokemon is still recommended due to their enormous size and habit to instantaneously morph their mass between an assortment of gases, liquids, or solids. Yeah, this one kind of gives me Mario background hill vibes. I love that. This one is definitely one of my faves. It's super cool. Alright, next we've got by Boba Lobster, a Beast Paradox Electrode. So this is now Ghost Electric type, and it's kind of exploded, and the inside of Electrode is now the only thing, and it's kind of got debris and electricity just spinning around it. It's super cool. I like that feeling of it almost being this sort of angry, vengeful monster that hasn't been able to survive in its main form as Electrode in Ultra Space. Alright, next by Gage the Artist, we've got a Beast Paradox Flip Shock, which is a Steel and Psychic type. It's kind of based on thwomps and stuff as well, it seems. So the Flip Shock found in Ultra Space have adapted to be much bigger and have a stronger shell. However, with this, they can't move as fast. Because of this, they have adapted psychic powers to move around. If spotted, it's advised to run away as it is known to randomly drop, crushing anything underneath it. The design of this is great because it almost also plays up the whole spiked cleat boots as well, or even snowshoes. And yeah, the actual art on this is super cool as well. Next, we've got a Beast Paradox Granbull by Cesp13, which is a fairy and dark type. It has a more aggressive appearance and more dog-like appearance as well. When angry, this Pokemon can either stab you with its horn-shaped jaw or slap you with its tail to weaken you down. This one's really a fun design, and I love the purples and the blacks all together, and the fact that it almost has like a Looney Tunes stance to it as well, getting ready to like just attack you and beat you up. It's a fun design and I really like this one. Alright, next we've got Beast Paradox Lickitung by Nolric. This one is just precious as well. And again, it has that Mario kind of mountain look to it. And the fact that it's Lickitung is really interesting too. It's an ice type, the icy mountain Pokemon. I think this one's just really interesting and fun, and the shape design and all that is really cool on it as well. Next, we've got Beast Paradox Macaron by Mimai. This Pokemon is incredibly docile and less provoked, or when people interfere with its dancing displays. This Pokemon carries an unlimited supply of draconic energy in its inflated head, but due to the mysterious abilities of this draconic energy, its colors have drained and made it sensitive to its predicament. I love this one. It's kind of got like a Rubber Hose cartoon kind of design to it in the way that its arms look in the eyes and stuff. This one is definitely a Kirby enemy as well, like a Kirby final boss. Super cool. Alright, next we've got Beast Paradox Mimikyu, and this one is just horrifying. This is by Maya. This is based on Eldritch Hunters. It wears different parts of other Ultra Beasts, is unsure which is actually the fan favorite. I really like the idea of this one, that it's literally just kind of piecing together bits of other Ultra Beasts, just because it doesn't know which one people likes the most. And that head, that top head is just, oh, horrifying but great. We got by Beluga Kugo Beast Paradox Mushana. So this one's based on evil genie lamps, and it's a dark ghost type. Yeah, this is super cool, and I like that it kind of looks like it has a mouth on the tip of its kind of head bubble bits now. Yeah, this one is just really intimidating, and I think it would make a great Beast Paradox design. Alright, we've got Beast Paradox Tyranitar, which is kind of based off various kaijus, Godzilla and Mothra and stuff. It's a mixed Titan Pokemon. It's a dragon bug type, which is super cool as well. I love the look of the wings, kind of almost looking like sort of Australian cave paintings and other designs like that. Crimson did really well with kind of linking all the Australian sort of Aboriginal art forms together for these designs as well. Next, we've got 2 by Deer in the Suit, and these kind of come together as sort of a package deal, but oh, I love these. Not only are they, you know, 2 amazing Pokemon, especially Appleton, but they also combine sort of like the flying dinosaur aspects that I really love. So, Beast Paradox Flapple based on Wyverns and Azdarchids. After being driven out by Astara by the local Flapples, these Flapples found themselves in an unfamiliar land. Having long since outgrown their apple shells, the demeanor of these Titans betray their large stature. They're actually incredibly skittish, and their most egregious crimes are scaring small children and Pokemon. And for Appleton, based on sauropods, despite towering over even some buildings, these colossal Appleton are incredibly friendly. Their large size is attributed to having to survive in the same environment as the rather territorial Astara and Appleton. The berries it eats are turned into a fruity filling that fills the lattice pie crust on its back, which the Appleton allow hungry Pokemon to eat from. Not only is the art really great on these, but I actually just really love the designs as well. And the fact that they still incorporate the kind of the leftover parts of their apple bodies still is just really fun. Very well done. And finally, we have a Beast Paradox form for a Pokemon that Machiman made earlier called Grampyda. So Grampyda, Beast Paradox form, are poison and steel type. Due to the unfortunate demise of their young, Grampyda has adapted to better protect her young. Highly aggressive with a deadly toxin stored in her needle-like limbs. This is a 5-star threat. So this is a cool design. The only problem is it can't really be entered into the competition because it isn't a pre-existing Pokemon, a Starin Pokemon. It's still really cool, and I love that it's linked to Grampyda itself. Alright, and for a final just little extra by a person called Benmo. Obviously, they couldn't do the art in time because of various reasons, but I really just like what they said for this. So my Pokemon is the Quokka. I had a really cool idea, but now I can't make it happen. I made it and now I can't paste it in, so yeah. The Quokka would basically be stupid and think this rock with a derpy face was her child. And its name would be Codulus, Latin for gullible caretaker. And the whole gimmick is that the Pokemon, whenever it ran from battle, it would chuck its child at the opponent. So he runs from God, chucks his child at God, Makes sense, right? Its type would be normal rock. It's just, yeah. You could just imagine what that is. Seeing people keen on creating BPs does my heart well, and all of these designs have something special about them. For runners up, we have BP Ditto, BP Flip Shock, BP Gramble, and BP Lickitung. And for Art Style Award, I'm giving it to Hunter Rowe for their awesome image of BP Berserker. But the winner of this is the wonderful duo BP Appleton and Flapple by Deer in a Suit. Just truly some amazing designs there. And with that, thank you all so much for your time and effort. Truly, all the submissions were amazing, and if I had a whole year, I'd draw all of them in my style. So look out soonish for a video where I convert all the mons who won here into my art style and slot them comfortably into the Astara region. And don't worry, to the artists who won, I'll be giving you all the full credit you deserve whenever they show up. So what did you think of the video? Comment your thoughts and who you picked as your personal fave, and chuck me a like and subscribe, but also follow and go check out all the artists in the video. Thank you so much for watching this far through, and I'll see you next time.
Now, Frank hated this painting, you know, he made me take it down.
I do not like this painting, Charlie. Smug aura mocks me.